You came to the right place. I'm here to tell you exactly how to reach 1800 by detailing what worked for me and what didn't work for me. You're stuck. You're questioning whether you can get better. Maybe you're overrated. You play a lot of chess games. You even watch YouTube videos, but nothing seems to change. Tilt streaks reaffirm how you view yourself, and chess becomes a place of actual pain as opposed to a fun, enjoyable hobby. You may even periodically quit the game only to be re-inspired by some sort of Hikaru clip or something.
I'm just gonna castle it.
If you're looking for a new approach, this video is perfect for you. I will outline exactly how I improved in the opening, middle game, end game, and a mentality shift that I know will help you if you implement it. This video is a follow-up to my last video, how to attain a 1600 chess rating. I recommend watching both videos for maximum value. Why listen to a guy who just hit 1800? He's not even titled. Exactly. I'm you. We're in the same boat. I didn't have a chess coach. I didn't go to tournaments when I was a child. We're the same. Our thesis is as follows. If you want to reach 1800, you need the knowledge base of the average 1800. Plain and simple. Maybe you have a high opening knowledge, but your tactical skills lack. Maybe you have high positional play, but you're really bad at endgame. Whatever that breakdown is, your ELO will be the average of those individual components. And examine each of these stages of the game. That means no more autopilot, no more spamming games. Hopefully by now, you know the kind of player you are, or more importantly, the kind of player you want to be, so that you can actually gear your playstyle towards that. And if you haven't thought of that at all, then keep that in the back of your mind for the duration of this video. In the last video, we emphasized the importance of having an opening repertoire for both black and white. You must have an opening repertoire if you're interested in winning. You should have some response memorized. This is like the bottom line. There's going to be some off lines that you won't know, no problem. Winging the opening is no longer an option. You need to save your calculation and your mental energy for critical moments of the game, not whether or not you should do a pawn push on move 3. Further to this, the opening needs to be tuned for your playstyle. I was stuck and I was losing a lot of games with e4. I was a Rui Lopez player. Always played Spanish opening, thought it was good positionally. The problem is e4 has all these responses. The French, you have the Sicilian, all these sharp tactical lines when I preferred positional maneuvering games. And for some reason or another, I actually always wanted to be a d4 player. I've seen Magnus play d4 a lot. A lot of the guys I liked, like Ali Reza, was always playing d4. For this reason, I purchased a d4 book, having a simple, systematic response to every potential black reply. And the way I implemented it was incredibly practical. I first looked at the most common replies on Lichess, documented the replies in a private study, and simply reviewed games after I finished them with the book to see exactly what I should have done and how far my memory served me, while also keeping in mind the next move for next time I run into that line. The same was done for black, and I bought a black book by the same author. So it's kind of, the green screen is kind of messing it up, but it's Keep It Simple for Black. It recommends the Queen's Gambit Declined and caro-kann for e4 versus d4. I think the author does an incredible job at synthesizing all the information, so if you want to buy the book, I think it's actually worth it. Otherwise, there's so many other resources you can find online and engines, you don't need to buy anything. Keep in mind, rating will be lost when you're soul searching. It is very normal. When you find that opening that fits your style, it's just grace from there. This is the stage when so many people they haven't a clue what to do. Now we're going to talk about two important concepts that actually took me to the next level, that literally changed how I think about the game. The first is weak pawns. So there's two scenarios of these weak pawns that I've learned about and started implementing. The first is an isolated pawn.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine.
I've been playing the Queen's Gambit Decline, and I get these isolated pawns very often. What are you supposed to do with these pawn structures? Trade minor pieces, blockade the pawn, pile up the pawn, and when all those pieces are distracted defending the pawn, eat up other weaknesses, win the game. The other kind of pawn is a backward pawn, similar situation, similar response. We apply the same formula. Knowing this gave me a motive during the middle game. Where am I going to attack? What am I looking for? I'm looking for these weak pawns. Before, this was not even in my mind. I didn't think to do this. So that was the first thing that actually truly changed. And all of this is in the book that was cited in the first video, How to Reassess Your Chess. And this book breaks down what we just talked about in so much more detail. All of a sudden, we have a plan, a motive, initiative, something to do during the middle game. While our opponent's on the back foot trying to protect a pawn, not knowing what to do, leaving a lot of weaknesses in his wake. The second concept is something I learned watching Hikaru. Whenever I was watching Hikaru, no matter what stage of the game, no matter what he was trying to do, every single piece he had was fastened to another piece, defended by another piece, no matter what. So if a game boiled down to an endgame, everything was defended, there was no weaknesses. The pawn structure wasn't all fragmented like Swiss cheese or something. So thinking about whether my pieces are secure has elevated me in every single stage of the game, particularly the middle game. And this level of solidity is frustrating for your opponents. Funnily enough, getting smoked by an opponent one game in the end game restructured how I see the end game. Okay, so I'm black here. And as you can see, White has his rook defending both of his pawns. My king is blockading the passed pawn. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, what do I do here? Not budging. Everything he's keeping defended. And I'm the one sort of just searching, and king starts working, and I just lose the game. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at that rook. Stable. It hasn't moved. And I guess it's easy when you have a passed pawn, but I guess I never really recognized it until I had this loss. The idea is to focus on being incredibly solid in the endgame. This will provoke and induce errors from your opponent because they're going to be the ones slinging their rook from left to right, trying to find openings when you are waiting for them to make the mistake. That being said, I observe that this is still a weakness for me, and I think a lot of 1800s, this is one of their biggest weaknesses. I think taking this seriously would reap significant benefits, but if you're a lower rated player and you get to endgames often, focus on defending your pieces and waiting for mistakes rather than being the one who recklessly throws their rook every which way. Mentality shift. Isn't this game fantastic?
Yes, sir!
When you're only up 2 pawns and you force a queen trade and you just see all hope, like, even though you can't see them, but you just know, especially when the resign comes immediately after the queen trade when you're only up 2 pawns. Like, I prefer that over a fancy checkmate 10 times out of 10. The mentality shift is about gaining and maintaining advantages. If that means trading up when you're only +2 or a minor piece or even 1 pawn, that's what it means. So be it. It's all about winning. So there's a really popular YouTuber named Coach Andres. One time he said something to the effect of, you know it's a good move, especially when you're ending the game, when the move results in a resignation immediately. Not some fancy combination that you're looking for, but you know it's something where you've converted and you've distilled it down so deeply that it's just a blind win. Don't worry about how pretty it looks. Become a shrewd player. All right, boys, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you found value in it. And I hope the next video I make in this series is how to get 2,000, which was my ultimate goal when I started this. As that number starts to approach, I get more excited, I get more enthusiastic, and I want to learn more. I know it's the process, and these ratings are just sort of snapshots. They're not who you are, but it's good to have that reaffirmation sometimes, you know what I mean? It's nice to be validated by something that's objective, and that's partially why I enjoy making these videos. We often feel stuck in other areas in life, but chess can be that sort of steady reminder that, like, with the right attention, with the right mindset, with practice, you could get better, and not only in chess, but in other areas of your life as well. If you got this far, thank you for watching the video, and leave a comment on maybe your rating or something that you're working on, or your favorite opening.